Hi, and welcome back to Recharge Your Soul, Rewire Your Mindset. I am your host, Sarita Buer, and I'm super excited today to introduce Kat Dillon, who is here with me. Thank you so much, Kat, for being here, and you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey there. Yeah, I'm Kat. Kat Dillon. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist. I'm also a chef. And I kind of call myself an eating coach too, because so much of what I do is related around food and eating and just connecting at a deeper level with food and the self.
Awesome. Yeah, we definitely need that now, and people have the opportunity. So just before we get into that, I just wanted to ask you, because we've had such a transition in the last 4 weeks with everything that's happened because of whatever our world is experiencing. So I'm just wondering how that's impacted you and your family and your business and whatnot, if you can share.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I say that I have kind of two lives. One life is at the retreat that I work at. I work at a wellness retreat,
Cool.
very well-known retreat as a nutrition director. But I also have the other side of my business where I am a solo entrepreneur. And I love both avenues. They're both very different. But yeah, so I lost, as most of all of the practitioners in the retreat, we are all here at home. But how has it impacted me? Actually, it has impacted me deeply as, I've been scared, but mostly I say I have kind of used it to kind of just get that fire burning under me when it comes to providing service for others at this time. There's a lot of people out there that are confused about the food. And I really want to throw away this whole dogmatic dietary kind of system that we're all in and really just bring it back to basics for people. Because that's just another coal on the fire, right? Feeling about, is this okay for me to eat? There's a lot of fear out there with food. Right now, we've got enough of that. So let's just be at peace with food. And that's where I want to come in and offer that to people, really, is about just getting peaceful with your food.
That's awesome. And what a wonderful opportunity. That's, why another reason I created the summit is to provide people an insight on how we as entrepreneurs, as business owners, have utilized this time to pivot and to really reevaluate how we can be of service to our people and our audience. And I think that's amazing, because I know a lot of people are having already an anxiety, but now it's with kids at home and the dynamic has changed, and kids are needing and people are needing to be eating. They're not having the resources as much as they were before to eat out and have someone else feed their children or themselves or whatnot. So I think this is such an opportune moment. So I love that you're doing this. And it's amazing. And so we can jump right into that conversation. That's so great.
Yeah.
Cool. So, so what does that kind of look like? I would love to hear how people at this time can take the opportunity to maybe to create a better relationship with their food. And not only that, but bonus, create deeper relationships with their family through food.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I say number one, whatever people are doing right now, so much of the tension can be located centrally in our heart and gut, in that one area right here in that solar plexus. A lot of times we're not breathing correctly, and there's just tightness. So the first thing I would say regarding just eating, I would say to do one thing, and I always take this as a little 3-step program or a 3-step plan, and it's just want to remember these 3 numbers: 5, 10, 15. Super easy. Everybody can do this, even kids. So when we sit down, we take 5 deep belly breaths, and we can put our hand on our belly. And now that there's, we're not eating out, we don't feel silly doing this at the dinner table, or, no one cares what you look like. So just take one hand on your stomach. You can even put another hand on your heart and take 5 belly breaths. We really lose this as we age. We're all holding our stomachs in to make sure we fit in our skinny jeans, or we're or we're tight because we're stressed out. We're running from place to place, doing thing to thing. So we do those 5 big belly breaths. Then you take 10 seconds to do 10 chews per mouthful. Okay. So the average human, actually, do you know how many bites or chews the average person takes?
Oh man, it's probably super low, like 2 or 3.
Absolutely. It's 3. It's
Oh
crazy.
wow, that's not enough time to actually enjoy your food. I'm guilty of that. Yeah.
We all are. And so we don't
Mhm.
get those chemical processes, the enzymes that we need to properly digest and assimilate
Mm,
those foods. So we can't, even if we're eating a healthy diet, then we're not going to digest and use the foods that we eat that broke down into this essentially
right.
essential compound. So 10 chews. The third one is 15, obviously. So 15 is 15 minutes minimum of dining time, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now we have the time. We're not running to business or work or
Right.
school or a workout. You have the time. So let's take 15 minutes to connect with the food that we're eating. And here's the caveat,
Yes.
Serena. It's 15 minutes without looking at your phone, looking at CNN or Fox News or whatever you watch. It's 15 minutes of solid, uninterrupted eating. And now you can
Love
speak,
it.
of course, to your
Mhm.
people next to you, or you can just have a little meditation as you eat, right? So speaking of meditation, that's kind of like the second area here, is that even if we're cooks or non-cooks, I mean, everyone's different, right? Now we're all forced to cook a little bit more.
Mhm.
So cooking can actually be a form of meditation. If you don't
Mhm.
like to meditate, or if you do love to meditate, either way, you can use it to slow down, use it to
Mhm.
just connect with your food, start kind of imagining, if you will, where the food, let's say you're chopping up some broccoli or slicing up a carrot or slicing some chicken for your food, for your meal that day. You can imagine where the food came from. How did it get to your plate? How did it get to that cutting board? Was it the farmer that, was doing backbreaking work all day a couple days ago? Or, just imagine those people and imagine the start to finish, where and how it gets to you. And we are so blessed and fortunate to have the food on our cutting boards, on our plates, right, in our bags.
Mhm.
So let's get to really appreciate that. I mean, people say the research out there on gratitude, right? I mean, there's not one person out there in social media that's not saying something about the gift of gratitude and how it makes us healthier.
Mhm.
So connecting that way. The third way, besides the slowing down and really enjoying the process, is connecting with others as you cook, right? So you can give jobs to other people. You can make it fun and fresh. You can give really, make funny faces, chop weird things in a certain way for kids. Obviously you don't want to give them sharp tools,
Mhm.
right? And then it's as we eat, right? Whether you're spiritual, religious, or neither, or whatever, or both, you can just have some gratitude for the food that you're eating. Take the time to bless the food or not, and then have some fun and laugh as you eat, because then we end up actually digesting better, and we're going to be, not looking for seconds and thirds and fourths as we. I think there's a lot of people out there that have habits. And I say I love food. I'm telling you that right now. So sometimes I will take seconds or something that I enjoy. But if we really think about it, we have a plate and we finish our plate. Do we really need to have that extra food, right? We
Mhm.
want to be sleeping well, especially at this time that we're in. Sleep is
Yes.
foundational to the immune system. So if we
Mhm.
have extra food in our belly, we're going to tend not to sleep as tightly.
Right.
So think about even eating third less as what you would do for lunch. And I guarantee you're going to sleep better and you're going to sleep longer. You're going to not wake up in the middle of the night to go pee or whatever. And you're going to feel like $1,000,000 when you wake up, even eating earlier. I think I
Mhm.
like to do that. I mean, on a normal evening at work, I have no control over it. I have to eat at a later time, maybe 7 o'clock at the latest. But now I'm able to prepare the food, so we're eating at like 5:30, 5:45,
Yes.
and definitely it makes such a difference.
Mhm. Yes. Awesome. Woo, wow, some awesome tips. So I love the 5, 10, 15. That is an awesome way to really slow yourself down to appreciate like, what's been presented to you. We have in our Western society, we have such the ability to access like really good quality food, and we're so fortunate. And I really love how you've created like a journey from basically farm, crop to plate, and really visioning that as you're preparing the food and eating it, and it just gives you, yes, a lot more of the gratitude factor from where it came from to be able to nourish our bodies. And being in that state, I'm sure also will allow our body to receive the nutrients as well when we're in that form and that mindset of gratitude. Very
Absolutely.
cool.
Mm.
Very cool. That's so neat. And yeah, I wanted to reflect back on the last point you were just saying around um, the connecting with people with doing like the meal prep. And I found, and see, I've had like a phobia of cooking my whole life just because I never really thought I was good at it, but I never really permitted myself to explore. I just always like shut myself off saying, oh, I'm not good at cooking. But I've allowed myself to explore that. And I do have to say, because I've utilized baking as my therapy and as my like, self-care. And so I've translated that into like more of a cooking. And I actually really like it because it's like you're in the zone. It's such a great feeling, you kitchen is yours, or maybe you're sharing it with somebody, preparing, you get to listen to music, you just get to be present and happy. And it's like there's such a community that comes from preparing and like eating food together. And I think this is a great opportunity that we've been blessed with to explore that.
Absolutely. You said that so right on.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else you want to share like that? I love the tips that you've given for our audience in that regard. So, what about people that are kind of struggling with like, I don't know, I've noticed like a lack of, I shouldn't say resources, but kind of utilizing what they already have, like in their
Yeah.
pantry. Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of want to go back to just a little bit of what you said earlier about, you know, connecting with your food on a daily basis is really an establishment of connection within. Because when you're cooking, now, granted, some people love to follow recipes, some people like to wing it. I like to wing it. I sometimes will follow recipes, but I'll change it up. I
Hmm.
like to control it, right? But here's what you want to pay attention to. When you really get into cooking, it's not about following the instructions. Well, that's part of it. But you want to go back and taste as you go. Okay, does it have enough of this basil? Oh, does it have enough salt? Does it need more pepper? Does it need more spicy? And as you go, you kind of channel, you figure, okay, this actually needs a little bit of that. Now, what I kind of encourage everybody to do is think about that as your body. And if you think about truly what it really needs at the moment, okay, yeah, it might want to eat the whole jar of peanut butter, right? I want to do that, right? But
Yeah.
is that gonna feel good? Is that gonna be like great after a couple of spoonfuls? You're not
Hmm.
gonna, you just will have a stomach ache, and you'll, the rest of the day is just like, meh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a really good way of thinking about, cooking, and also being like, maybe what it is that you need a bath, or you need to just relax, right? A lot of us are so stressed and so looking for something else, right? Even if it's nutritious, you're still using it for satisfying something like boredom,
Yeah. That's a
sadness,
huge one. Hmm.
tired,
Hmm.
having, being afraid or whatever. So think about that as like a metaphor. It's like when you cook, just, you might need a little of that to kind of round it all out, round all the flavors out. Maybe it needs a pinch of salt. Maybe what you need is to sit down for 5 minutes and just breathe.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
that was what I wanted to finish up on. And then you asked me about meal prep for people that aren't really cooks. Is that what you were kind of alluding to?
Yeah, cooks, but then also around, because I know a lot of people are not going out shopping. I mean, they're getting things delivered to their door, or they're not really, or they're just utilizing what they have in their cupboard at the moment. And maybe this is like an opportune time to, look at what you have already and create from it. I think
Right.
it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually, one thing that I do a ton of is meal planning for people. I do meal planning as to, whatever their health issues are. And I do that for them after a consultation. I also do virtual meal planning where people can actually bring their Zoom, your computer or your
Oh,
phone to the
cool.
fridge and to the oven. And we see about like, what do you have and what can you do with the items that you
Hmm.
actually have?
Hmm.
But but one thing is to think about putting together some ideas using non-perishables. So um, this one thing I did for a class of mine is I took 3 days and I did 3 days of meals using only non-perishables, still healthy. But the most perishable item that you'd be using would be, I think, some frozen blueberries. So I put that all together for 3 days, and you can kind of mimic that, right? So you want to think about, look, we're not able to get to the grocery store, but as much as we, would like to. I'd love to go shopping like daily.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that right now.
Hmm.
So what I'm doing is I'm buying on Instacart or using a grocery service
Right.
where you Thrive Market. ThriveMarket.com is amazing. Or using some sort of delivery and getting everything that I can cook with, perishables and non-perishables, and making sure I'm stocked up on things like nuts and seeds and oils, making sure that I got my good coconut oil, and then also some good BPA free, that means bisphenol A, free cans. Now, this is really important because the can liners, they have this plastic insert inside. It's called bisphenol A.
Oh,
It's actually a
yeah.
known hormone disruptor. So you want to get the cans that say no BPA or
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
the cans. So that's
Good
definitely
to know.
a marketing ploy now because a lot of people are saying, oh, everybody wants no BPA cans. So many companies are actually getting on the bandwagon with this. So
Good.
they're easier to find. So getting things like coconut milk, canned soups and beans and things like that that are in cans. They also have the pouched beans. Those are great. Garbanzo beans, lentils, uh, black beans are amazing. And you can cook with those. Bone broths as well. Great. Now, bone broths are loaded with collagen, and collagen is excellent for building the gut, rebuilding the gut lining, which again translates into healthy immune system.
Yes.
Loading up on garlic and onions. Garlic and onions are like nature's best immune boosters. So using more raw garlic, raw onions. I know it's hard for some people to take, but or
Yeah.
you're not kissing very many people. Well, maybe you are. Yeah, I mean, don't worry about it. You can neutralize it by eating like a couple of handfuls of parsley. Parsley is amazing, has a bunch of chlorophyll and good vitamin
Oh,
A.
good to know. Okay.
People love kale, and kale is great, but parsley actually, ounce per ounce, has more nutritive value than kale. So,
Awesome. Yeah, I put that in my green drink, and I like the little like flavor it gives it. It's really good.
yeah, cilantro too. Cilantro is
Mhm.
nature's best detoxifier. Making pestos and things like that and sauces. That's one of the things that I like to do at the beginning of the week is make a couple of sauces, blend up, make a pesto, maybe make a tahini sauce with herbs, or blend up oil and vinegar with a bunch of fresh herbs if that's,
Right.
if that's all you know. But you can definitely, contact me for ideas and recipes on that. So then what
Okay.
I do, after I have everything, I want to use my most perishable things first. For instance, leafy greens that are in like a bin, like my arugulas and my spring mix. Use that first because that's going to go bad in a few days. I
Hmm.
keep my sweet potatoes, my squash, things like broccoli. Those are going to last a little bit longer or a lot longer on the squash. So I've got a spaghetti squash. I got a kabocha squash waiting, ready to go for like Thursday, Friday. So then my groceries are going to come in on Saturday.
Hmm.
Sweet potatoes, I kind of use those sparingly. I'll make things like sweet potato toast, which I love doing. Keep the skin on,
Ooh.
wash it, scrub it, and then slice about an inch thick slices on the bias, which means kind of like at a diagonal, and then just pop them into your toaster oven slot and repeat the toast function about maybe 5 times, and it'll come up like a piece of toast. And you can use that as a burger bun or
Oh,
slap
what a great
butter,
idea. I love that.
cinnamon, butter. It's so good. So
Yes, I love sweet potato. I never thought about
good.
it as like the bready part of something. Oh, awesome. That sounds
Yeah,
so
and you can make that sweet potato last a lot longer,
good.
right? And when you
Oh,
get to the very tail end of the week, you can start picking from those non-perishable again, because you might, I don't have enough greens, or I don't have enough of this. So start maybe thinking about, all right, well, maybe I've got kale chips in my cupboard, or maybe I've got some sardines or some canned salmon. I can put that on like that leftover cucumber that I have, or some
hmm.
just basics like those little mini peppers are always really handy. They last a long time. You can have them fresh, maybe make little boats, or things like endive spears. There's always something, hopefully, in your pantry or in your refrigerator that you can pair up. But those canned things help to just kind of satisfy those few days, kind of sandwiched in the middle, where it's getting tight,
Right.
but you know where to go.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Ooh, great recommendations. I love that. So we'll have to, hopefully some people in the audience will try some of these things that you're recommending. Such great ideas. I love them. And I'm gonna try the sweet potato one. I love sweet potato. I sometimes we'll cut it up and cube it and then just put it in tin foil and put it in the oven with like cinnamon and some other like let's see, cardamom and things like that, and then just like a little drizzle of honey, and it's so good. I love it. It's my
Yeah,
favorite
and another
breakfast.
thing, thinking of, you can find dried mushrooms. Now, mushrooms are amazing for our immune systems. Like you probably
Mm,
heard of things like lion's mane and reishi.
yes. Hmm.
So you can just get like dried porcini mushrooms, which actually taste amazing, and then make powders from them using like a little um, spice grinder or a blender, and just grind it into a powder and then use that as a seasoning. I personally take reishi mushroom. You can get it, online or at the store, at the health food store, and that's a great immune booster. You can blend it into things like your smoothies. A lot of people take it with their coffee or their tea.
Hmm.
I use matcha green tea sometimes, and that actually blends up nicely, and it gives it kind of it's already earthy, so it's not going to kind of throw it off. But
Hmm.
you want to use it in things that are earthy, that really umami earthiness. So
Right.
your sweet potato, you could actually mash that in with that.
Hmm. Great
Mhm.
idea. I love that. Oh, so awesome. Very good. So I know you wanted to share because you've been you have a couple, and I'll be sharing like the your social media pages and stuff down below. But if you wanted to share your little free giveaway that people can continue their relationship on with you and find out more about you. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So a couple things. I've got the 7-day immune building recipe book that people can download. And then
Perfect.
I also have a summit coming up. It's the Brain Heart Gut Connection, which is
Mhm.
really going to go and talk to a lot of doctors and practitioners about the connection of all of our organs and systems, and how we feel, think, and what we do in life.
Mhm.
And then also happy to help anyone that needs help in their kitchen virtually. They can contact me
Awesome.
on my website and check out. I do like little 15-minute segments with people in their kitchens, and they can, if they're stuck anywhere, they can reach out for help.
Awesome. Oh, that's so fabulous. I know that you're such a valuable resource, especially right now when people have the opportunity to really kind of step back and evaluate their really not only eating but their relationship with food and how they can better nourish themselves. Me personally, my commitment has been I've been juicing every day, and that's made me feel so much better. My digestion has really improved. Eating earlier, having the opportunity to eat earlier is definitely a blessing. So I love all the recommendations and little tidbits and nuggets that you provided us. Thank you so much.
Oh,
It's
thank you, sweetie.
really
Thank
valuable.
you. Thank you a lot. And all this stuff that you're doing for the community out there, we just have to realize, all of us, that this is the time. We have the
Mhm.
time now to do all these things to make us better. I mean, we're already perfect as we are. We're
Yeah.
perfect.
Hmm.
Um, but we can all still grow. We can all still
Yes.
be better and do better and help others. And this is what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah. Like I say, the universe has gifted us this time to really dig a lot deeper to help us improve individually. Which, when we do that, we have massive impact on, ripple effect to improve everyone else too. So, yes, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kat, for all the info. And I don't know if you have any last words you wanted to share with the audience.
Yeah, well, just hey, we're all in this together.
Mhm. Yes.
Don't Please don't feel like you have to do it all alone. I mean, we're all coaching each other, and at any level, we're all striving
Yes.
to better, to do better, to just to tighten up everything. So let's just all reach out as communities to each other and make it a better place.
Yes, exactly. Build those deeper connections that we have, but utilize the time to build that. So thank you so much again, Kat.
Thanks,
And
Serena.
yes, and we'll see you guys in the next session.